Arts in Depth is brought to you in part by Riverside Theater, Vero's professional theater at Riverside Park. Call the box office at 772-231-6990 or visit riversidetheater.com.
Arts in Depth, a 1/2-hour televised program presented to you by the Cultural Council of Indian River County. I am Barbara Hoffman, Executive Director of the Cultural Council, and your host for Arts in Depth. Thank you for watching. Indian River Symphonic Association has been bringing to our community some of the world's finest orchestras, conductors, and soloists. The concert in each year's series are often sold out long before the date of a concert. We are so fortunate to have this wonderful association in our community. My guest today is John Crosby, President of the Indian River Symphonic Association, and we want to welcome you, John, to our program. The Symphonic Orchestra, or the Symphonic Association, has built quite a reputation over the years. Can you share with us the history, the vision, and the work that went into the creation of the Symphonic Association?
I'd be pleased to, Barbara. Thank you. And thank you to the Cultural Council for providing such a great forum to communicate with our citizens in Vero Beach. And clearly, the Symphonic Association is pleased to be part of this. 23 years ago, a confluence of several events created the Indian River Symphonic Association. Local citizens, led by Penny Odiorn, had an intense desire to create an environment for a full symphony, not chamber music, but a full symphony. At the same time, the Brevard Symphony decided they wanted to expand beyond their local environment up in Melbourne. So the confluence of those two things, along with the community church, Ray Adams, who was the music director, conspired to put together a program that in 1995 provided 2 Brevard symphonies. By 2002, we were up to 3 Brevard symphonies and 4 international orchestras. So it's been a beautiful piece of music, so to speak, to watch us all come together. This is our 23rd year, and we continue to have 7 concerts, 3 with Brevard and usually 4 international. Sometimes we bring a noted U.S. orchestra, such as Naples, or this year the Buffalo Symphony. But it's been an inspiring story of how local people in concert with the local symphony created such a wonderful organization.
And how and when did you get involved in this association?
I was blessed to join the organization in 2012. I lived and worked in the New York environs, so I went to the New York Philharmonic for 25 years. Had a passion for music, although I can't play. I do have a passion for symphony music, and when I asked to join, I said sure.
Well, when you were younger, did you participate in orchestras? Did you play an instrument? Did you sing in a choral group?
I sang, Barbara, but you embarrassed me by asking, can I play an instrument? The answer was no. I tried to learn the piano at a very young age. I had a wonderful music teacher, Sister Charles Catherine, for whom I'm sure I was a constant disappointment. So I never went beyond just the basic piano.
Well, even that, though, even those kinds of lessons help you learn a lot.
Absolutely. And you know, when you think about it, music is the universal language. It crosses all geographic boundaries. It brings disparate groups together. As you look at our orchestras over the last 23 years, they come from around the world. Russia, Ukraine, Scotland, England, Israel.
Well, it's a very, very exciting agenda that you have, and I do want to thank you for coming with us, and we're going to talk more with John Crosby when we return after a short break.
Bay Street Pharmacy in Sebastian invites you to see our new selection of holiday cards and gifts. For more than 30 years, Bay Street Pharmacy has been your neighborhood pharmacy and one-stop healthcare center, offering prompt personal service, home delivery, and a dedicated staff that treats our customers like family with care and compassion. Now we have wonderful cards and gifts for the holiday season. Bay Street Pharmacy, where caring people care for you.
Arts in Depth is brought to you in part by Riverside Theater, Vero's professional theater at Riverside Park. Call the box office at 772-231-6990 or visit riversidetheater.com.
And I'm back here with John Crosby, who is the president of the Indian River Symphonic Association. This season's programming is extremely exciting. Would you tell us about the season series that you have ready for this community?
I'd love to. To put this year's program in perspective, over the last 22 years, we've had 48 different orchestras from 21 different countries with 80 different composers. And so with that background, we are always looking to enhance or broaden the nature of the music or the composers. And this year we're blessed to have the Polish Orchestra coming, the Russian National Orchestra coming, and the Jerusalem Orchestra coming. And that's to complement the three by the Brevard. And we're also having the Buffalo Symphony, which is conducted by Joanne Fletta, who is a very famous conductor, beautiful artist, a wonderful director. This is their third or fourth visit to Vero Beach over the last many years because they're so popular. It sells out every year. And so this year they will be playing Tchaikovsky and Brahms. The Polish Baltic will be playing Wagner and Chopin. They each have noted soloists. So the program, I think, is well balanced with the other parts of the Brevard Symphony. Brevard plays two classical, and then they have one pops orchestra. And this year it's very unique because they're bringing together a pianist who will be playing famous piano pieces from Liberace, Billy Joel, and other noted pianists. So it's like a pops format, which is always very popular.
Uh-huh. And how many players do these symphonies usually have?
The normal is around 90. Our stage cannot handle more than 90 easily. Some orchestras are 100, 104. And so many of those will pare their orchestra down to about 90.
Uh-huh. And what a wonderful opportunity for this community to meet people from all around the world. I mean, this is a peaceful movement.
No, it truly is remarkable. In particular, you talk about this year. Here we have the Russian National and all the political issues surrounding that, and Israel, Jerusalem. Several years ago, with the Haifa Orchestra from Israel.
Now, do they get to spend much time in Vero Beach?
Not really. They're often traveling between upstate Florida and downstate Florida. And so fortunately, Vero Beach is able to attract them because it's a nice transition in their movement from north to south. It allows us to attract a lot of our orchestras many others cannot. Mm-hmm. It also facilitates the cost of these orchestras because they can balance their costs between being north and south by having an intervening stop in Vero.
And that's really nice. Is there an opportunity for either your board members or some of the members of the community to have a chance to have some interaction with them? We
often have for our donors a pre-concert visit with a conductor. Mm-hmm. The conductor has always been available to students during the intermission. Mm-hmm. And our local high school students have often come together in a very nice forum in the intermission to talk with the conductor about the music or the soloist. So it's worked out beautifully for the audience and the students.
Sounds like a wonderful plan, wonderful evenings that you have in store.
We do, and we're usually sold out. We have a capacity of 862 seats, which is one of the largest venues outside the high school in Vero Beach with acoustics that are really unparalleled.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're going to talk more about where the concerts are held, about the venue, and much more about the Indian River Symphonic Association with John Crosby when we return.
Join Marsha Littlejohn nightly at 5 and 9 on VeroBuzzTV.com.
Hi, I'm Carolyn.
And I'm Jim. Together we are the Live Now real estate team at RE/MAX Associated Realty.
We know the Sebastian area real estate market very well, and we also know that buying or selling a home can be very serious business.
But together we can reduce the stress and even have fun in the process. Along with our hundreds of satisfied clients, we really want you to live now and be happy too.
Contact us at thelivenowteam.com.
See you soon.
I'm back with John Crosby. John, how are selections for each of the seasons chosen? It must be a challenging process.
Barbara, that's an excellent question because we are talking about a global availability of orchestras. Mm-hmm. So what we're trying to constantly monitor is within a 3-month period, which is when most of our donors and subscribers are in town, to find a good mix of orchestras, soloists, and conductors, playing music that is different, representing different parts of the music spectrum, different composers. And we're trying to do that within 3 months in combination with the community church calendar, in combination with scheduling them so they're not on top of each other, that there's a week or more in between the different concerts. And obviously they're working on their travel plans from north to south or vice versa. And so it's really a scheduling nightmare. We're looking at 2 years. We've already planned the 2016 and 17 concert program, which brings orchestras from Ukraine, Prague, Scotland, but this took 2 years in advance. And we're now starting in January. We'll start on 2018 to find the very best orchestras.
I didn't realize you had to plan so far
Yes, we
out
do.
for these. Well, that's also very interesting. Since 1999, Indian River Symphonic Association, together with the community church, has presented children's concerts for all the fifth graders in Indian River County. Can you tell us about these concerts?
Be pleased to. Part of our mission, in addition to bringing the finest orchestras to Vero Beach, the second part is to promote classical music in an educational format with children who are beginning their musical careers. And so we have 2 concerts provided by the Brevard Symphony to a total of 1,500 students, all fifth graders, public and private school are invited. We provide the busing and work with Chris Confiscori, who is the conductor of the Brevard, to create a program which would be engaging to the children, teach them about classical music, and teach them about how orchestras work together. It's quite exciting to watch these children. They come dressed to the nines. It is so cute as they get off the bus to see their smiling faces. They conduct themselves like ladies and gentlemen, even though there's 700 or 800 in each audience. And Chris does a great job of creating a curriculum which we send to all the teachers 2 months in advance so the teachers can work through the curriculum, talking about the type of music that will be presented, the type of instruments that will be used, and some of the performers. And it's a joy to watch the children listen to some of this music, which is often a bit classical, but also very contemporary. And they played the William Tell Overture a year ago and played each instrument playing their part. And the children were in the audience, like riding the horse. They were so excited. They were brilliant with just enthusiasm. So it's a great joy to see these children start to learn about music. And 90% of them or more play an instrument. So when we begin the concert, we say, well, how many of you play instruments? And of course, 90% raise their hand. Well, how many play winds? Or how many play violins? Or how many of you play percussion? So they really get engaged, and Chris does a great job of bringing them in. It's an exciting form.
Oh, I should say. Why do you feel that music is so important to young children?
Because it's the universal language. It allows them to communicate. An F sharp is the same here or as anywhere else in the world. It gets around the boundaries of language or clothes or religion or any other things. It's just a beautiful language.
And it also stimulates initiative and creativity and all those good things.
And performance. They must learn to perform on their own. There's no one else to support them. It's their ability to play their instrument well.
This is great. We'll return in just a few moments after a short break.
Arts in Depth is brought to you in part by Riverside Theater, Vero's professional theater at Riverside Park. Call the box office at 772-231-6990 or visit riversidetheater.com.
The Furniture Man is a locally owned business that has served the needs of the community of Vero Beach and Indian River County for over 30 years. Here at the Furniture Man, we offer fine pieces to furnish each and every room of your home. Specializing in Floridian style, come browse our selection of bedroom, dining room, patio, and living room. Come explore over 10,000 square feet of showroom where you can find mattresses, recliners, sofas, dining, and more. Visit us at 673 US 1 in Vero Beach, Monday through Saturday for all of your furniture needs.
Since 2005, the Indian River Symphonic Association has provided scholarship support programs for graduating seniors in Indian River County. Can you tell us about that scholarship program and how it works?
Be pleased to. As I shared with you, part of our mission is to provide scholarship funds to enhance the educational process for people that are interested in careers in music. And as you pointed out, over the last 10 or 12 years, we provided 28 scholarships, over $108,000, 28 scholarships, totaling $108,000 to students out of our community, both the private and the public schools, through an audition process. And this year we'll be auditioning in the middle of February. Invitations have gone out. Each student must submit a resume, a background of what they're trying to accomplish, what instruments they play. A committee of members of the board will visit with these students, do the auditions, and select some. Last year, I believe we had 11, and 7 of the 11 were awarded some scholarship. We also have a program for 4-year scholarship programs. Part of the Indian River Scholarship Program, we have contributed $100,000 for 2 scholarships that gives annual scholarships for every 4 years. The students seem to be doing well. They represent a wide array of instruments, violins, cellos, some vocal. It's fun to watch them entertain and practice and watch them present before the audience their expertise.
Well, I think that is really, really terrific. That would be fun to watch. Very interesting. And it'll be interesting to follow those students through the way, and perhaps maybe you can get them all back at some point to do a concert.
That's an excellent idea. We've tried to do that. We've had 1 or 2 come back and play a special dinner or a particular event for some of our donors. But these students move away. They're located around the country. Their ability to come back and visit Vero, unless their family's here, is challenging. But they've been invited to do it.
I'd like to return a little bit again to talk about the importance of arts and culture, music, performing arts, how important that is in the development of the minds and brains of our young children.
Well, I'm not a psychologist, but I think that just watching children develop. Vero Beach is blessed. We have such an array, a plethora of arts between the Riverside, the Art Museum, the Opera, the Symphony, that our children are now have the opportunity to really be exposed to all of these arts. I think the high school and the various schools are doing a magnificent job with their programs. Matt Stott and some of the people at Vero Beach High School really have learned to engage the students in making music part of their being. It's just not an adjunct. It's just not an afternoon activity. It's part of their soul. And so it's been joyous to watch them. And if you've attended some of the Vero Beach Orchestra presentations, you would also be impressed with how it creates a sense of they need to be part of a team. They must play their instrument very well, but then they must follow the conductor.
That's right.
And it's a great lesson in how you need to be good in what you're doing, but be part of a team.
My father was a concert violinist, and he also taught violin for many years. And so I'm very familiar with how important that is, and I know that what he did was to give me a wonderful background in appreciating and playing.
Also, I will say that the parents are incredibly supportive of these children and their activity. So we're blessed that we're able to give further education by giving modest stipends to go on to pursue their careers.
Well, it's a wonderful mission.
Thank
part
you.
of your mission for the Symphonic Association. And we will be back in a couple of minutes after a short break to continue our conversation with John Crosby.
Join us for an adventure weekdays at 4:30 and 8:30 on Buzz TV Network.
Bay Street Pharmacy in Sebastian invites you to see our new selection of holiday cards and gifts. For more than 30 years, Bay Street Pharmacy has been your neighborhood pharmacy and one-stop healthcare center, offering prompt personal service, home delivery, and a dedicated staff that treats our customers like family with care and compassion. Now we have wonderful cards and gifts for the holiday season. Bay Street Pharmacy, where caring people care for you.
Arts in Depth is brought to you in part by Riverside Theater, Vero's professional theater at Riverside Park. Call the box office at 772-231-6990 or visit riversidetheater.com.
John, all of the concerts that you give are at the community church. Why is the community church selected as the venue?
As I shared with our audience at the beginning, it was a confluence of the desire of the Brevard to expand, local citizens who wanted to have a full symphony available to them, and the church. Mr. Adams is the music director, and he conspired with these other pieces of the puzzle to agree that the community church would be an excellent place. And they've been wonderful, just absolutely wonderful supporters of what we do. They sponsor the facility for our children's concerts. The other 7 concerts, obviously, are all held at the community church here in Vero Beach. All our concerts are listed on our webpage. We're on Facebook. Our webpage is www.irs Symphonic. We're on Facebook, so there are a lot of ways to share with our community members what's going on at the church. The seats are priced at $370 per person for the season, which is all 7 concerts, and that's for the center section. The side section is $335. But if you buy the whole program, it's 20% less than buying the individual tickets. And we're very sensitive to the cost of arts. The average price per ticket is about $52 to $53, which when we examine other arts programs or venues, we feel the value that we're giving people is fair and very reasonable. Tickets can be purchased from the ticket office, which is at the community church. It's also on at 778-1070. Barbara Bobowitz is our administrator. All the other people are volunteers. The whole board are volunteers with the various disciplines in either art or music or organizing or negotiating with the different concerts.
So you have a lot of activity going on with your volunteers and putting on the concerts.
You asked one very good question at the beginning of this segment. We are only able to achieve 2/3 of our total budget through this pricing of tickets. So like all the arts organizations, we're very sensitive to the sponsors and also to donors. 2/3 is tickets, 1/3 is given by donors. 75% of all our subscribers are contributors, which is incredibly high. Not only do they buy the tickets, they support the organization, which is really a blessing. And we've also had Wells Fargo and Waddell & Williams this year is an insurance company in town. Are sponsoring the Jerusalem concert. So the community rallies around us. But as all arts organizations know, money is a very scarce commodity. And we're blessed to have so many generous contributors. We
do have so many in our community. I just heard the figure a couple of weeks ago that in 2014, 2015, that this community gave over $200 million in contributions.
That's very impressive.
It is very, very impressive. We have a very generous community that loves and appreciates all that we all do.
Yeah, and we're one of the benefactors, which we greatly appreciate.
Absolutely, absolutely. It must be very expensive to bring an orchestra of the sizes you're talking about, 90+ members. And so this is very important in raising money.
It's critically important.
And do you have to feed them or house them at all when they come?
They take care of the housing and the feeding. We will coordinate with them. We'll help them find the appropriate venues for housing and or feeding. But it's the concert administrator for the orchestra to coordinate that.
Okay, thank you. We'll be back to our closing session in a few minutes.
Stop by Patty's Printing and Graphics in downtown Vero Beach. Owner Patty Callahan prints it all, from color and black and white copies to blueprints, banners, signs, prints of paintings, and fine art. Patty makes restorations and creates outstanding graphic designs. Call Patty at 770-1521 or stop by Patty's Printing and Graphics at 2345 14th Avenue. Stop by for all of your printing needs at Patty's Printing and Graphics, across from the old railroad station in downtown Vero Beach.
The Indian River Symphonic Association is a wonderful story of making a vision a reality. What is the vision that you have for the Symphonic Association in the next few years?
Our goal, Barbara, is to continue to provide quality music from the world's finest orchestras, soloists, and composers in an environment where we have a maturing community. The residents of Vero are very supportive of the arts, and particularly the symphony, but they're maturing. So attracting the next generation of music lovers to the symphony is our biggest challenge. And I think most of the arts have a similar challenge of, while we're supporting them in their educational process, there's a generational gap that we're trying to bring together so that they'll appreciate symphonic music and begin to attend. And oftentimes we'll give tickets to the high school students to come and be participants in the music program. So the vision is continue doing what we're doing, continue to do better, continue to find the world's finest orchestras. And many of these orchestras around the world are having the same problems U.S. orchestras are having. The support from the state and local governments is diminishing somewhat. Their ability to travel is expensive, and particularly with the strength of the dollar. So finding sufficient number of orchestras and being sure that they're bringing us the finest music, not a cassette, is a big challenge.
It is a challenge, and bringing young people in is a challenge because our communication systems are so different today than they were even a few years ago.
Well, that's why we're availing ourselves of Facebook and the web. These are instruments that we never thought of several years ago.
I know.
But now we're using them to communicate with this audience and try to induce them to come see us.
Well, I think that you're doing an excellent job, and with the young people in our community, they are so fortunate to have people like you and the Indian River Symphonic Association to be there, supporting them, educating them, and enlightening them and showing them how beautiful this world can be.
We're also blessed to have the Cultural Council in a position to bring together all the arts and communicate it so efficiently. When your brochures, your advertising, your communications such as this, it really helps our community understand what a magnificent community we have dedicated to the arts with only 18,000 local residents.
Thank you so much for that. The Cultural Council mission is to promote the cultural arts in our community. I want to thank you, John Crosby, President of the Indian River Symphonic Association, for taking time with us today and talking with us today. And I want to thank you, viewers, for watching Arts in Depth, brought to you by the Cultural Council of Indian River County.
Arts in Depth is brought to you in part by Riverside Theater, Vero's professional theater at Riverside Park. Call the box office at 772-231-6990 or visit riversidetheater.com.
Bay Street Pharmacy in Sebastian invites you to see our new selection of holiday cards and gifts. For more than 30 years, Bay Street Pharmacy has been your neighborhood pharmacy and one-stop healthcare center, offering prompt personal service, home delivery, and a dedicated staff that treats our customers like family with care and compassion. Now we have wonderful cards and gifts for the holiday season. Bay Street Pharmacy, where caring people care for you.
Hi, I'm Carolyn.
And I'm Jim. Together we are the Live Now real estate team at RE/MAX Associated Realty.
We know the Sebastian area real estate market very well, and we also know that buying or selling a home can be very serious business.
But together we can reduce the stress and even have fun in the process. Along with our hundreds of satisfied clients, we really want you to live now and be happy too.
Contact us at thelivenowteam.com.
See you soon.
Get them out, hold them up. That's your sideline pass is good now, right here on Buzz TV, coming to you every Tuesday through Friday, where we'll have a coach's show with Coach Jankowski as we break down all that's happening with Vero Beach High School football.
And then we're also going to have the Sports Buzz show where we're going to talk about local and national trending topics.
And maybe some of his diet and how not to eat like him. Be like me, coming straight out of Indian territory. It's the Sideline Show, and you can find us right here on Buzz TV.